Right, here we have the ACE X-Tenda Landing Net. Now, available in two sizes, a 42, which really suitable for most carp fishing situations, and also a 50-inch version for big predator anglers, big carp, catfish, pike, etc. Anyway, when we set to develop a landing net, one of the things I was kind of aware of was that there's been a trend recently to try and get nets lower and lower diameter, which in turn meant they became much more flexible and flimsy. So when you were trying to move a net around, it would often, be bending, etc., and not so responsive. So what I wanted to do was to create a net that, whilst it was extremely light, actually was also very rigid, so that when you moved it around, it was much easier to manoeuvre. Manufactured from 3K woven carbon, as you can see, the diameter actually looks quite chunky, which is what I set out to do. You've got very, very chunky arms attached to a nice chunky handle. Now, there's also another number of other nice little features I'm just going to run across for this net for you briefly. First of all, nice machined aluminium spreader block. Now, what we've chosen to do here is actually bond it directly onto the handle rather than thread it on as most other nets tend to. This was really because I could see no point, in fact, you needing to remove the spreader block. And in fact, it just actually gave another potential problem of the handles becoming loose, when you're trying to net a fish. Moving up here, we've replaced the nylon cord that comes supplied with most nets and used 600-pound mono. Now, the big advantage of using this is the fact that A, it won't rot, it won't perish, and it won't stretch. Therefore, it's going to last much, much longer, and you're going to need to hopefully not replace it very often. Back down here, each carbon extender net comes supplied with this XL net float, which is ample enough to actually keep this large net floating on the surface right until the point where you want to actually net the fish and you just want to dip it down. The net has a nice little tiny stainless ring there, which clips into this aluminium clip just below the net float. That keeps the net in position right up to the point when you want to net your fish, so it makes it much easier to manoeuvre the net through the water. And last but not least, as the name suggests, the extender, and this is like one of the real tricky parts of this net, by simply twisting that with our twist lock, you've actually got a 3-foot extension. Now, unlike nets that come with extensions where the extension's either on or off, this can be set to any length that you want, anywhere between a couple of inches up until the 3 foot of I said, and you literally pull it out and then you just spin that round to lock it in position. That there is an invaluable feature, especially if you're fishing somewhere like here, which has got weed in the margins, and you just need that extra length on the handle to get out over the weed to net your fish. Comes supplied in a nylon bag. I think the ultimate carp net.